I'm Dr. Susan Zbikowski, and I am a member of GoMo's advisory board. And I just want to tell you a little bit about myself first. So I'm a developmental psychologist and behavioral scientist by training. And most of my career, I have specialized in the area of addiction, health improvement, and behavior change. And as Bob said, I had the honor of being involved in the Rimrock Program. And I assisted the team in development of content and care guides, which I'm certain you're all familiar with, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about. So, what I really found, quite impressive being involved with the team is seeing a framework that GoMo used to be able to take these behavioral science concepts and to put them into practice with the development of the messages, the timing, and the frequency. So what I love about the program is the fact that the content is evidence-based and incorporates behavioral science principles. So what I just want to do is spend a few minutes telling you about, from my perspective as a behavioral scientist, how this is reflected in the content. Because when you might see content, you might just see these as words and messages, but really it's so much more. So, much of the content is in four primary categories: addiction, cognitive bias, preparation, and then life improvement. Addiction is such an important part of the program, as you'll hear from Coralie and Annette shortly, understanding kind of the program goals. But in terms of the content, it's really about helping people with their addiction recovery at different phases and giving practical skills that are grounded in relapse prevention. And this means things such as understanding what are one's triggers in terms of urges and cravings to use, and having a skill set to be aware of when that's happening and what you do in the moment when you find yourself in situations that are triggering that. So there's content that triggers preparation, planning, and having a strategy in place in order to deal with those situations. Another core component, of course, is dealing with cognitive biases. Now, everyone has cognitive biases. You might think about the phrases where you think about those individuals who see a glass half empty or half full. So that's kind of starting to talk about these concepts of that we all have cognitive biases in how we look at the world. And that's particularly true for people who are going through addiction recovery. These thinking errors can become problematic as someone is trying to overcome their addiction. And in the program, we're able to deliver content that helps people to become aware of these traditional thinking errors. So when catching yourself when you're thinking negatively, or when you're downgrading positive events. And so helping people to become aware. So there's a consistent theme: becoming aware of one's thoughts, presenting alternatives to those thoughts, and presenting opportunities to practice those new skills. This is also particularly important in the category of shame resilience. As you may know, of course, people undergoing addiction recovery might have a great sense of shame for their behavior. There might also be traumas in their life that might have led to some of that shame. And so helping people to realize that those situations do not define them, and as they make progress, to see that that progress is positive and that they have forward momentum. There's also a key component of the program in terms of delivering content that's very practical. One thing that's also great about it is that there's a framework of all the content being developed within positive psychology. So when you look at the content, it's very positive, encouraging, non-judgmental. That also is delivered through the skills and readiness content. This includes helping people to be prepared for court, giving practical skills to have positive parenting, and then to improve communications that can allow you to then, find a job, retain a job, improve your communications with your support network. And then a last key component of the content is in the category of overall improvement. So as individuals are trying to work on addiction recovery, it's promoting a lifestyle of healthy living. And so there are a lot of key components of behavior change. And this ranges from encouraging people to practice self-care skills. This is about having compassion. It can be promoting taking on hobbies, other healthy living, which includes promotion of healthy eating, more activity, practicing skills in the area of meditation and mindfulness, which is important to stress management. What you'll see is an intersection of all these kinds of themes and content over the course of the program to help people, again, address their thoughts, practice skills at the right time to be able to reinforce therapeutic concepts so that this framework comes together to support people in their journey of addiction recovery. So again, I hope as you look at the content, you will realize that this is so much more than just the words. It's really about a very unique approach to how you can use messaging and content to support these therapeutic concepts.